I thought you hit the button.
No. I hit it now.
This is
So it's
about
hit.
delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Hey, it's another Tuesday, chat. It's another Tuesday, and that means another RDX podcast with a phenomenal panel and you, the best chat in the universe. We've got a bunch of really good topics today. I was actually quite surprised. There are things to talk about, and really interesting things to talk about at that, but we got to give a shout-out to everybody watching. Guys, you know the drill. If you're checking us out, hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show as we get started. And I just wanted to say, Zalker, for the first time ever, I Googled the show, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people talking about how great the show was and a lot of positive things and, their top lists of podcasts. We're honored to be there, right? First and foremost. But we also understand that we're not for everyone, okay? We do say bad words and we make dumb jokes. And if you don't have the sense of humor, maybe it's not the best, but maybe you're managing. Let us know. But I just want to say thanks to everybody that does shout us out when people are asking about podcasts that they can get into. You are leading more and more people to the show, and it's just, you guys are awesome. I just appreciate it.
And
so
I'm going to say this too, after looking at it, we have been, I feel like the last couple of months we've been recommended a lot. And it's actually like people like tagging me in this stuff, like, hey, what's your top podcast? And you're right, that's been going on. And do you remember like a year ago, I got an email from somebody saying to not cuss as much? And I was like, I'm sorry. And then I sent them a paragraph of 18 cuss words in it because I was like, this is what we are. We're not going to conform to anything. This is how we talk in parties. This is how we are. And just, that's why people come here, man. The chat loves us. We love the chat. And because we are who we are, that's just what it is.
Well,
we're real.
There's a difference between, a guy that had a microphone and started a YouTube channel and built a platform because he's a gamer and that's his hobby. And guys that, are journalists that this is I don't even know if these motherfuckers play games, right? So I do this because I love doing this. And I have to be able to be myself and have the friends that I have with the chemistry we have to have any kind of fun doing this for almost 5 years now. I think it's very important. So that's one reason, you get all those stupid little inside jokes. They don't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. But trust me, they give me the fucking energy I need to keep going and to keep the show upbeat. But again, we just want to say thanks. I didn't mean for it to drag on this long. Just, I appreciate you. Seriously, RDX Podcast, we all appreciate you. Hit the like button, tell a buddy or two. As we get into some shout-outs, obviously, some panel members. We'll do the panel members first. Hey, Fonzarelli, how have you been?
I've been as good as I can be. I'm back. It's good to be back at least. And I just want to say for the record, I don't think that people tune in to hear us curse. I think they tune in for our well-informed, panel here when it comes to gaming and the industry and all that stuff. Because we've gotten so much right. Yes, I'm going to, tout that a bit because there's so many times we've been vindicated on this show for saying things that have, happened after, even years later. That we've called. And, it happens. And I think that's why they tune in. But sometimes, we say fuck. It happens, But we don't try to force it just to curse.
Like I said, I just run the show how I would like to listen to a show, which is entertainment first, have fun with it, talk about the topics, throw some things out there.
Just being ourselves.
Yeah.
That's like we are in a party chat. That's basically what you guys get. Is us in a party chat.
Somewhat. But you don't get Grand Theft Auto 5 enhanced footage in your party chat. This was sent to me by Rockstar, and I didn't have to pay for it, but, I just figured I'd show it off. It's a game that came out. People are bitching about it. Here it is. Let us know if you are enjoying the higher frame rates on this game, and shout out to Rockstar. But again, we got to move forward. D-Batch, brother, another week, another podcast. How you been?
I'm good. I see the word of the day is fuck, so let's start the day off fucking right, and let's get going with the show.
We've also got xCloud Tim Dog, brother. How you been?
Yeah, doing. I was sick last week with COVID. Sorry to not make it, but I feel better, and we got some good topics and some stuff to cover this week. That's going to be fun. Happy to be a part of the show.
You said that like you had some chores you had to do. Hey,
I know.
We've also got Zalker87, brother. How you been? Oh, shit. I think my browser's crashing.
Wow.
Woo!
No, it's not. But you did fail the mission in your damn game. I'm watching you. You just
I
got
gotta
shot in the
restart. I gotta
face.
restart my browser real quick.
Brazers?
Oh,
Yeah, browser. So
Brazers with
Zucker,
Rand Althor phrase?
Zach, tell people what the fuck I asked you. I forgot because I'm multitasking.
Yes, how I'm doing, and I'm doing good, buddy. Don't worry about it. You just fix your shit. The chat's doing well. They're laughing. We're having a good time, man.
All right.
And we have a topics coming up, and it's gonna be great.
Can you read a few of these super chats while we get into the first topic, or some of the shout-outs rather?
Yeah, as you recover your face. Yeah, let me get some of these. So we got Hargi Chani says, "Welcome back, Fonz." Yeah, Fonz, welcome back, brothers. Good to have you, man.
Thank you.
We got Flapjack Juice. Now the gang's all here. Thank you, bud. Lord Starkiller, welcome back, Fonz. Fonz getting some love tonight. Look at that.
Damn.
I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate
man.
everybody. It's great to be back. This is awesome to have all of us back here again. The panel is back together. It feels good.
Yeah. We got Nano Polymath. He says, congratulations to the best Xbox podcast in the world and the sexiest folks on the planet, and Zalker on busting 108K. Hugs. Oh, thanks, buddy.
What?
He didn't.
108K carrots.
I was to say, yeah, baby carrots. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a sexiest person though. Do you see that? Sexiest folks on the planet and Zalker. Like he didn't include me in that. That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. I'm cute. Might delete.
you said the word of the day.
All right. Well, I think I'm back in here now, and I think it's going. I don't think there's been any break in the footage or anything, right?
No, it's all good.
No,
It's just your
it's
browser.
good.
It has nothing to do
Okay,
with your.
cool. I got it.
stuff.
I just got to get the topics back up here again. But shout out to all the guys in the super chat, the channel members, and of course the boss moderator, Lethal Papa, the moderators of the show, people like Obi-Wan, Red Bull, Shoguns, and so many others. Thank you guys for keeping the chat. Not that it's really an issue, but just anytime there's a crackhead or a spam bot in the chat trying to pitch some kind of weird, website, you guys crack down on that. So thank you. I got to give a shout out to the patrons real quick. The shout out tier, we got Dub Mobile. We've also got Ruben Almighty, Ricky Falam, Fault Lines, Not Silent, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath, Zoradin, Costanza, KY Bob, Goose 842, Straw Hat Khalifa, Assassin Lupa, Foreign Object, Gab Queez, Teo Blue. I'm combining you guys. Teo, John Blue, Real Deal, Neil, of course, Vec Boss, Deviator X, or Suicide King, Stacia's Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cuvillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. Shout out to the shout out tier on Patreon. That link's down below. But I want to open this with, and we got to shout out to everybody already here watching this. We wanted to talk about, at least inform you what happened with the most recent Xbox event that was powered by Twitch. That was the Xbox ID at Xbox event. There were some things there. They released Tunic, right? They
dropped Tunic.
What else did they do?
Well, they dropped Tunic day and date on Game Pass, and that's a pretty highly rated game now. A lot of people are really liking it. It's like Zelda with Demon Souls or Dark Souls or whatever put in there. It's I got a stick and played it, got the achievement, and then didn't play it again. So I'm going to jump into that later because Elden Ring's got my life. They also dropped a couple other games like Void Train. I don't know if they came out, and then Trek to Yomi, which people really liked, and then Wrestle Quest. I don't know if you saw that. Like the Wrestle Quest was freaking hilarious, dude. It's like old school wrestling and like Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
What?
It looks weird, dude. Yeah.
What's it called?
Wrestle Quest.
You
I
got
gotta
D
look it up
all
right
hyped now.
D hella hype.
He heard about them nipples.
It's like an RPG, dude. It's an RPG wrestling game.
Oh man.
Like Jake the Snake's in it. Like it looks weird, man. I don't know how to explain it. It just I was looking at it, I was like, damn, who the hell made this shit?
So if you had to list 3 things that were really or remotely interesting, what would you list, Stalker?
Tunic, Wrestle Quest, and Trek to Yomi.
What about
That's it.
Shredders?
That's the thing.
I would say Trek to Yomi.
Oh my god. Don't get
And
started on
Void
the
Train.
shredders.
Leave Shredders alone.
There's also I'm looking at the list right now. And that's a pretty good list, to be honest.
Well, read it off, Tim.
Crusader Kings 3, which is that was the
strategy game.
Yeah, and it had that funny guy T-Pain. He was doing like he was showing the game off. They had like a trailer for that. Immortality, I believe, is that game where it's an FMV, where it's a full motion picture type game where you piece together stuff. It's day one on Game Pass.
Wait, they're trying to bring back full motion video games? Oh.
Yeah,
Ah.
it actually looks pretty good. Trek to Yomi looks really good. That was the star show of actually State of Play last week, and we all found out that it's coming to Game Pass. Shredders, Flintlock, Floppy Nights, Paradise Killer, which was announced since day one, or it was announced as a shadow drop. It was it's now on Game Pass. I heard good things about that.
You're saying it's not a Shadow 69 meta?
No, it's actually a pretty good game. People like it.
Good.
So that was also dropped. The big news of the day: Citizen Sleeper, Bacon Puns. But the big news of the day was Tunic. A lot of people were upset that it wasn't on Game Pass, and I don't know why you would be upset. Sometimes games are not going to make Game Pass, but they seem to have ponied up. They put up some money and they got the game on Game Pass, and from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are liking it. It's like really liking it.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
it's really
it is
high
on
quality.
Game Pass. Yeah, I'm probably like 2 hours in. I've got the sword. If you didn't get the sword yet, Jet, and you're still beating people with a stick, get the sword. It helps a lot. It makes the game a lot more enjoyable. The tedium of dying and maybe running back somewhere over and over and over, that's still a thing potentially, depending on how hard a level you get to. But it's a quality game.
Speaking of swords, I want to stab you just for putting some GTA 5 footage on the screen. We've seen this for how many decades now?
It's going to be another decade
It's
after
over.
this.
Hey, this is a new version. It's got legitimate
enhanced.
upgrades. It looks exactly the same as the last gen version. What are you talking about?
Yeah, with some nicer
I like-
shadows.
I like how people use this game as a benchmark for what's possible in today's hardware. I don't know.
I hate everybody.
Anyway,
here.
the
Well,
ID
with the mods, I will admit there's a lot of great mods for GTA 5 that
yes,
look
there are.
amazing.
Can I just say, can we keep track of his gameplay? Because if this motherfucker buys a shark card, I'm quitting the podcast.
Hey, shit, I already
Quit.
bought him.
Yeah, I gotta say that's why I was disappointed with the console rendition or the update for it, because it basically just added ray trace shadows. It's running at 60 and it looks a little bit sharper because of a higher resolution, but
Yeah.
it's essentially the same damn game 10 years later. And you got guys in the PC community, if
Well,
Fonz
I
can
gotta
attest to
say-
this, those mods are insane.
Yeah, I got to say this, though. At least Dealer didn't pay for this.
Yeah.
I know that.
And that's
kudos
really
to you for
the
that,
thing.
because
to-
other people have, and I want to stab all of you. Whoever bought this game again, I'm sorry. I would refuse to pay for it. Rockstar is one of my favorite developers. I love this game, or I say loved this game. That's what I should say. But I will not pay $20 or $10 for it again. Sorry.
I mean, it's
no.
definitely a free It should be a free upgrade, like other games that have done
Definitely.
much more with their free upgrades. They've added way more features and way more things for the same price of free. But this one charges you. And I will say that as somebody who didn't beat the campaign on the Xbox One, because I beat it on the 360, I'm enjoying going back through this more than I expected to, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, chat, let me know if you know what I'm saying. Like, are you playing through this Grand Theft Auto update? Do you want
was a
to
great
jump off a
game.
cliff like me?
Let me just say this real quickly. I don't mean to be so crucial, but like gamers, you need to stop accepting this crap, because on PC, they could never do this. This upgrade will come as a free upgrade on
Preach.
PC like it should on consoles. And until gamers say, no, we're not going to buy this crap, give us a free upgrade, it's going to continue to happen. This is ridiculous. It's just an upgrade. It's an update.
We really shouldn't
I
even
agree.
stick the word free in front of upgrade, because it's always been free.
Yes.
Free is the standard, because when you upgrade your hardware on PC, you get those upgrades for free from the publisher, right? All the stuff's there, the developer, all the stuff's there. So I don't know. This newer stuff is a different tactic. We knew Rockstar were a little greedy, but at the end of the day, I'm not going
A
to chase
little?
after somebody and attack them for playing Grand Theft Auto. If you want to play Grand Theft Auto, have at it. I'm decently enjoying it. I didn't beat it on the Xbox One. I beat it on the 360. So that might be why. But I got to give a shout out to everybody watching, guys.
I'll just say real quick, though, if you did beat it in the past, you've already played the game and you've bought it once and you bought it again this time, I want to stab you. Just saying.
Yeah, well, Fonz will argue with all of you in the chat for the whole remainder of the show. Just be prepared.
Hands out my pocket.
Hey,
Zonka is a toddler.
We got Ricky Falon. Shout out to him, man. He's a big supporter of the show. He says, shout out to Dealer. He says, shout out to Dealer and the awesome crew. Thank you for Tuesday nights. Yeah, thank you very much, man. He says, welcome back, Fonz. That's very nice of you, Ricky.
Thank you.
Koi Cadaver, he's got a $50 super chat. He's just balling tonight. He says, welcome back, Fonzie. Looky there. Everybody's welcoming you back, Fonz. And you've been arguing with all of them for months.
No, I love these guys. They love my grumpy old ass, man. At the end of the day, they know that I love this gaming hobby and I have a lot of passion for it. And they do know that I love a lot of games. But yeah, when I hate on something, I'll shit on it, and I'll do it without hesitation because
and continuously, it's ruthlessness. I like
until
it.
he finally plays it, and he's like, I like it.
not in this case. Not in this case. Grand Theft Auto 5. I did love the game, but not playing.
Gamer by Choice says he has 380 days in Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's a lot of online play, right?
That's a lot, Gamer by Choice.
Yeah, that's 100% online play, man.
My gosh.
Unless he's running around as Trevor for like 39 hours just doing nothing.
I woke up in my underwear again.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You know what? It's footage, right? I got some footage for you guys. Enjoy it. Obviously, we're going to move forward. I Need Xbox Showcase. We just covered the notable things, the most notable things you will see there or have seen there. We also want to talk about, I don't know, D, should we save this one for later in the show? This is kind of a more of a, I don't know. I guess we could jump into it.
Let's do it, dude. We got to get into this.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to this one. So I was like, man, maybe I want to keep it. But Gran Turismo, right?
Ooh.
And at this point, I'm just trolling some of these guys that get
it's
their
Game of the
feelings
Year
hurt.
material. Like, let's just preface that.
Look, it's clusterfuck of the year material right now, and I hope that makes people that are very sensitive about plastic very irritated because we don't look at this the same way. Clearly, Gran Turismo fucks fans out of getting credits after 700% rise in microtransaction pricing. They've patched some, basically your ability to grind some races. Tryhard Fan has spoken out in volumes over this. He's a Sony guy in the chat. He's not enjoying Gran Turismo 7 as much as he would like to because of a lot of these things. Now, the game is... But how many days was it offline, Zauker?
I think, wasn't it like an entire 2 days or something like that?
Yeah, it was about 2 days. Yeah.
It was like 2 days that it was like offline. Not to mention, didn't people lose progression on shit?
I didn't know that.
Like you couldn't play the normal races with your cars if you didn't have it?
No.
Yeah, you couldn't play normal
online.
races because of DRM. It's always online, so anything offline, you couldn't do anything on there. Just pretty much, it literally went down like the 2013 bullshit that everybody made against Xbox went down the line. Can't play online, right? Or could only play online. Shit wasn't progressing. Shit was messing up. They lost things, and then they went into microtransactions, which I thought that was the $70 price tag. That's why you did that. But then now we have, all this stuff where you have to either play 700 races to get one car. And if you don't, you can spend up to $200 for one car, or something like $200 for a super car.
Hey, chat, did I just hear that right? $200 for one microtransaction for a car? Is that what you just said?
That's not a microtransaction.
That's a major transaction. That's ridiculous.
It has
talk to your wife about buying this purchase before it happens. That's how transaction.
It's either that or formula.
You get your balls cut for.
Man.
When I look at this situation, and that's another thing I have to bring up, is that the whole microtransaction thing and how I posted about it, and people were arguing with me on Twitter saying, well, you don't have to buy them, Fonz. They're optional. And I'm like, you're right. But guess why it's always online, folks? Because it's keeping track of those credits and all that stuff for them microtransactions. So you got one and you're getting the other because of microtransactions. Sorry, that is why it's always online. And if that's what you're hating on, well, then you should hate those microtransactions because they go hand in hand with this game. It's
I was going to say, sorry, after the outage, which was over 30 hours, and it was completely unplayable, when it did come back on, it was harder to grind and get around microtransactions. Not to mention, this is the game that we talked about a while ago, that when the game was being reviewed, they didn't show any of the microtransactions, if you remember that.
No,
And then they brought it out way after the reviews came out, which gave it like, 80s or whatever, even though it looks like a fucking PS3 game. And so then they were like, oh yeah, then the microtransactions came out, and people are like, oh, get rid of user scores. The thing I look at, like the zeros and all that on user scores, isn't like this game has nothing good in it. It is a protest against shit like this. That's what gamers are trying to do. It's their form of protesting against something they don't like, which is these microtransactions. And this is after, right? Like, for self-awareness, this is after Halo got a lot of shit for it, right? They got so much shit for visors for $20 or whatever the hell it was, and we went in on them too on this podcast.
Like, one of the biggest things is, though, that when the servers were down on the least reliable online gaming network in history, Sony's, right? You couldn't play your fucking game the way you wanted to. On top of that, they made it harder to get money than it was at launch already, which people felt like it was already too slow. Then they add in all these microtransactions where you can pay hundreds of dollars for a single car. Think about that. Forza, turn 10. If you do this, we're not going to let that shit go.
Nah, they're not going to.
I don't think they would do it. I'm just saying, you got to,
Well, has there been a motorsport? Has there been a Forza motorsport where it's always online and you can't play offline?
No.
Okay. As long as they don't do that, because that is the worst part about this situation. And again, they did that because of the whole credit system. They wanted to keep track of what you were making within that game. How could they do that the best? Well, always online. They're keeping track of you there, and that is why they did the whole microtransaction thing. That's why when they did the update, they decided to say, hey, let's make it harder for these guys to even earn these cars. They'll make less credits now.
Yeah.
It's all a scam. It's all messed up. And for $70, I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's a scam.
Listen,
it's a scam in the box.
You have to be always online to then have the network crash and be always offline. D-Batch, go.
Unacceptable. First of all, I'm going to compare this game to Forza Horizon 5. I'm not going to compare it to Motorsport 7 because it did come out the same time. Yeah, one's an open world game, one's a closed circuit game. Newsflash, the open world game actually looks better than the closed circuit game. So
that's a first, D-Batch.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Like, it's not even close. And when I play Forza Horizon 5, when I want to get a car, it's pretty easy to obtain. And half of the time, I just do the spin of the wheel, and I land on a nice, cool car that's rare or whatever. It's a lot easier to get cars in that game. It's just like no comparison. I don't understand the model of this game. I don't understand people damage controlling this game. Like, the game's okay. I'm not going to say the game is a horrible game because it's not. It's okay, but the hype and the level that people are putting this game at, or the standard, it's just ridiculous. And the reviews for this game.
No, for $70, it's shit. Call it what it is. For $70, it's shit. Okay. It's not a good game to go out there and buy. I don't care how hardcore a Gran Turismo fan you are, because there's a lot of them out there that are calling it what it is, a shit game for always being online, always having that credit system, just gouging you for, trying to push you into that microtransaction territory. And let's talk about the reviews. The reviews came out before the whole credit system was even applied. They didn't know how much things were going to cost. So it got an 87 score total there, which is a decent score, a great score. But honestly, people should go back and revise those scores because it doesn't deserve even an 87.
But if we're going to be 100% honest, Gran Turismo 7 is basically an update to GT Sports. It really is. It's just like a next gen update. I don't see any type of innovation there. Like, they made the sounds a little bit better, but if you look at the tracks, they're just minor updates to GT Sports. So I don't understand how that never got called out. And the amount of cars that they have in this game, they don't even have that many cars in that game. And on top of that, they're making you grind to hell to get the cars that they do have. It's just ridiculous.
I don't understand. To me, it's one of the most, like, the underlying issue, right? And they're hiding behind this. It's a live service game, because that's what they're calling this thing. They're calling it a live service game, so it changes. And of course, when the review came out, it's going to change after that. But it is one of the most exploitive tactics I've ever seen in reviews in business. It's like egregious. Like, I'm sorry. Everybody that reviewed this needs to go back, play it again when it was down, play it again with all the microtransactions, see how much you have to do. And just like you attacked Battlefield, just like you attacked every other game out there that had these microtransactions, you better be fucking honest with the people out there, because people are looking at these 87, 89s, getting the game and going, what the fuck? For $70.
I think people are looking at the graphics, like behind the car. There's a reason you don't see chase cam in a Gran Turismo trailer, right? You see replay cam, you see cockpit view. I don't understand what Polyphony doesn't understand about, making a game look proper from an exterior view. Why does the map rotate under the car and the car not pivot on top of the road on the map like it should be? Like, it's a disjointed PS3, and this is where a lot of the comparisons are coming in. Right, and I know a lot of people are going to get angry that we're saying this stuff about Gran Turismo, but I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just what I'm thinking. It's like, it's just the truth. The game is not doing you any favors, and they've only tried to make it harder to get money. So on top of that, you don't even get a graphical experience that rivals an open world Forza game from the year before. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. Chat, let us know if you think Gran Turismo 7 deserves an 87 meta in your opinion. I got the poll up now in the chat. I don't know if there's anything else we might have missed. I know the user score is down to 1.5, right? So Gran Turismo 7 is, I think Nano Polymath said it best. Gran Turismo 7 is confirmed to be using RDNA 1.5 now because of, I've never seen a score that low. Tim Doug.
Yeah, no, it's a mess, and like everyone on the panel said, just pretty bad tactics not to leave the microtransactions in there for the reviewers. I think it was like 5 days later after the reviews came out that they implemented the microtransactions, and they were horrible. And reviewers went all after Forza 7. I mean, if you look at it, go look at the Metacritic and go look at all the low reviews, and they're all mentioning that. They're saying it's a great game, but the in-game currency is flawed. And the sad thing is that they never implemented microtransactions because of the pushback they got from the community. So it never ever was implemented, and they got chastised for it, and they suffered Metacritic wise, where Sony just said, "Hey, we're not." They knew what they were doing. That's what I don't like, and I'm glad that gamers, even Sony guys, with the 1.8 user score, I think that's a record. I think the game industry wrote an article. That's the lowest that any game has gotten. So they're speaking to Sony. I think Sony did do some fixes, but there's still problems. Like I really, a $200, if that's true, a $200 car,
ridiculous.
That's a little bit too much to swallow. And
Sony knows that guys will go after that. Sony knows that guys will go after that because there's some hardcore fans, and unfortunately, they'll get it. And it's just wrong, man.
Yeah, most of the cars in the game too, like a lot of them anyway, are like $40 and up, and it's insane. Like, look, I just get real passionate when it comes to these microtransactions. You guys know I've been speaking on this stuff for years, and the whole cost of these games rising, and people talking about inflation and everything. And now, I always have to bring up the microtransactions because the microtransactions make up more than they need for to compensate for inflation. And here it is, a game that is $70 that they are, and they're putting all these microtransactions into. They are not forcing people to buy them, yet they are enticing people to buy them, and pushing some and forcing some people into buy them that don't want to spend the time into racing 700 laps or whatever they need for a freaking car.
Ridiculous.
I'm sorry, that is egregious right there. That is why I speak up against these type of practices. It's not right. If it was Xbox doing it, I'd say the same thing. I don't care who it is. It's wrong. It is wrong. When it's this egregious, people need to speak up and say something. As consumers, as gamers, we need to talk about this. I mean, it's important.
Well, Failed Power Manager's talking about it. He says, he's basically saying it's fake outrage. You can't do this unless you played it. If that was the case, Failed, you would have half the tweets that you have, because we know you ain't playing these Xbox games you're complaining about. One, and two, I don't want any game that puts a $200-something car as a microtransaction. that's concerning. Like it or not, like it's a little shady, and then they make it harder to get money. So on top of the server issues, that it's just a clusterfuck.
Hold up. Why is he talking out both sides out of his ass in the chat where he just said earlier, who's damage controlling? Bitch, you're damage controlling now. Stop it.
Jeez.
Come on, failed pyromancer. Get it together. You're either saying somebody is not damage controlling or you're damage controlling. You're the one that's damage controlling. It's crazy. Like, what are you doing here?
Take your neck off, pyromancer's. Take your knee off, pyromancer's neck.
I gotta call him out because it's ridiculous. Like, sometimes logic from fanboys, there is none. There is none. That doesn't go in the same sentence. There is no logic with fanboys. And that right there is a prime example. Failed pyromancer, you lost, buddy.
Well, you know,
all I know, even
own the game. So
what
whatever,
I could say is all I know is that even some of like the most hardcore Sony fans outside of whoever the hell you guys are talking to now has even called out like GT7. Like, they're just really mad about it. They're like, why is this happening now? Like, you need to fix this shit. Like, they're coming out and actually calling Sony out for this, especially the microtransactions. So I've seen that, but I've also seen people say it's not that bad. Just keep racing 900 times. It's like, dude, holy shit. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think Sony's going to care, to be honest.
Or how about the old famous, it's like playing a JRPG.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, somebody's mentioned a review tech in the chat. Yeah, he said it would look like a PS3 game. You know.
Yeah, he attacked it. He said it's one of the most overrated games he's seen in a while.
Yeah, and that's because ever since Forza has come out, Gran Turismo look, there's competition now, and you've got to step your game up. And I'm not talking about putting fake cars in real backgrounds and calling it a screenshot. You got to innovate and come forward with your physics, especially, and everything else you need to come forward with as well. I think the only thing Gran Turismo has Forza on, honestly, is the damn replay camera. The angles, awesome. Right? They're more like circuit racing if you're watching on TV and stuff. But other than that, man, it's not even close.
And the post processing, all the shit that they put on afterwards, it looks nice. The replays, that's what I remember as a kid watching, playing that game, man. The replays are on point. That's the only thing that I wish Forza would incorporate is the cameras exactly like they are in Gran Turismo. Apart from that, there's nothing else to really like about the game. It's bland. It's bland. It's very bland.
And remember, something's only bland if you just had something that wasn't bland. So if you didn't play Forza, go play Gran Turismo. You might like it, man. And if you go play Forza and do the opposite, you might notice there's a little spark of magical magic missing.
I don't need to play
I feel like I
GT7
can get every.
because
I feel like I can get every trophy.
I feel like I already played it back on the PS2. I mean, it doesn't look that much different.
No, I feel like I can get every trophy and every car in 66 hours. That's just me.
You're an idiot. Can you read some of these super chats, Sarah, while we transition?
Give me a second.
Colt says Grand Theft Auto 5 driving cameras look better than Gran Turismo 7's.
So I got Xbox Obi. This is where I'm starting off because that's the farthest I can go. He says, member for 33 months. Obi, what's up, buddy? He said, dealer knocked the fuck out. Fight night champ my ass. In the game, you got knocked out hard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
the guy like
clocked you, right?
Hey, bro, that's why I switched to tennis, man.
You did. You're like, all right, let me get my tennis elbow going. We got Hargi Chani. He said Sony meta is inflated because of their tactics. GT7 is a 77, not an 87. As you guys know, I don't care about the graphics, but PlayStation pushes quality narrative deserving $70. Graphics not on par with Forza, and microtransactions is not good.
Well,
and then we got Danny Passion. He says $200 for a car on top of the gas prices. I'm not taking it. Welcome back, Fonz.
Yeah.
We got Sir X-Man. He says, I'm sorry about Sony created pay to win situation.
Damn, X-Man. That's pretty. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's right. And then we also got a $50 one from Koi Cadaver. He says, welcome back, Fonzie.
I think we already got that one.
Maybe we did. I don't know, but he gets double because it's $50.
All right. Shout out to Koi. With double super chats, $50 and up. We also got Dark CMF. Dark CMF says, damn you, real life. I'm here now. Welcome back, Fonz. Don't buy GTA again if you want an upgrade. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not going to buy Grand Theft Auto. That will send him back to the hospital. No, and then we've also got what is that? Death Ray or I can't even pronounce that right now. He says gladly Sega GT refresh. to handle with GT7 franchise. Would they come out with Sega GT again? If you guys remember, Sega had a deal with Microsoft in the original Xbox to have like racing games and stuff exclusively on that box. I don't know, man. I think Gran Turismo is kind of handling itself right now, if I'm honest. I just don't see I don't see why. I don't
see Xbox doing anything with anybody other than Forza teams, obviously, but also I don't see Sony doing anything either. I think they're just going to keep GT7 or, the Gran Turismo Polyphony team, and that's it. Like, how many racing games can go out there, right? Like, you were playing, like, Grid, and you were like, this is trash. Like, there's a bunch of games out there that just not good.
Well, somebody else's trash might be your treasures now. So keep your eyes open.
There are people out there who are playing the game without even looking up at any of the microtransactions, any of the credit system, really like following it closely or anything. And they're playing the game and having a good time. And I get that. But at the end of the day, if a game is $70 and it has these microtransactions and you're really into owning all the cars within the game and stuff, you're a big racing aficionado and everything, and you want to own these cars and stuff, and you can't physically sit there for 700 laps a game or whatever, however many laps it takes to get these cars because of this credit system. It's not a good thing when they force you, or don't force you, but they entice you to buy the car instead for $20, $40, $200 even.
They're exploiting their fan base, man. It is what it is, man.
Yep. Yeah. Next, I'll be getting the food resources. D-Batch Sir X-Man says, shout out to Noof. We're going to miss your podcasts. Is Noof, he into this podcast?
He's taking a break for a little bit, he said.
For what?
I don't know. So he's going to take a break.
Well, that's not going to help the podcast. But, shout out to Noof. Hopefully you're all right. I don't know if you posted. I haven't seen it. Splendifer says, dealer, let's not be toxic. Glad you're back, Fonz. Yeah, you might have got that one. Risk It for the Biscuit says, if you're displaying GTA 5 footage on your podcast, you're part of the problem. Super facts. He says, loving the show as always. 5 of the smartest guys in the gaming, the whole world, he said. Just going to exaggerate.
Oh.
And then Lord Starkiller, he says, was going to get GT7 for my PS4 Pro, but with all of the BS microtransactions going on, he's sticking with GT Sport for now.
Okay.
Look, nice. He's calling bullshit on Sony. Fonz, you should be proud.
Yeah, there's microtransactions within GT Sport as well. And actually, I forgot who I was watching, but they covered it and they showed you the prices of the same cars that are in GT Sport now in GT7. And they went up like 700% in price.
Inflation.
Yeah. Inflation, I guess. Yeah, let's chalk it up to that.
Oh, man. Flapjack Juice says GT7 looks amazing in replay mode. Yodani says GT7 is more like Grand Theft $70. Stupid. Shout out to Yodani. And then everyone else, man. I'm sure we got another one or two. We'll come back to these guys, but thank you guys for checking out the show. To hit the like button. We got almost 1,300 people already here, guys. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy or two about the show. We got some great topics coming up. And, of course, we want to know your thoughts down below. Are you going to play Gran Turismo 7? And if you have, please tell us why. What are you doing? Also, the initiative. I don't know how many people actually knew about this, right? The initiative. Zalker, can you see if this is still the case? I checked the other day, it was. But the initiative have unfollowed everybody on Twitter, even Phil Spencer, everybody except for Crystal Dynamics. Tim Dog, do you have any idea what happened?
Honestly, I think that they had a vision in the beginning that a lot of fans and everyone was really hyped about, where they would make this team of like super duper awesome developers and, combine them and make the most innovative, craziest game ever. I just think that what happened was it didn't translate to paper. There was a lot of probably, pitching ideas, and nothing really got off the ground until, they got it off the ground. I guess you could always remember Drew Murray showing Phil the game at Initiative. I think they had an idea of a game, but what happened really was when Crystal Dynamics came in, they kind of took over the show, is what I'm getting at, or I'm hearing, and that turned off a lot of the, a lot of these big time developers because they kind of felt like, maybe they weren't being heard or it wasn't an optimal.
Well, it was a
situation.
division. It was basically like a civil war within the
Right.
studio.
They all had muskets.
Basically, what happened was that the people there, like half of the team, wanted to stay small and then bring in another. Even CD Projekt Red was talked about to bring in to fill it out, and like other studios, basically like Crystal Dynamics came in, right? That's who they took. The other half of the team didn't want that. They wanted to hire. And so it was a struggle. Like, that's why a game director left and he had his people and Daryl Gallagher had his people. And that's why half the studio left. And the people that stayed agree with the vision. Like, they agreed with bringing Crystal Dynamics in. They create the core gameplay. They have the vision. And then Crystal Dynamics executes it, but gives also feedback on what they think is best. And that's basically what happened.
That's basically what happened. But also there's a little caveat here. That this is a team that made Tomb Raider pretty much. And this is pretty much the same director, David Gallagher, who's over it. So basically, you're getting that team in my opinion, and I do believe that they are going to in the end provide a better result than maybe what was pitched before, because they've done it before. They've had the Lara Croft, and they've had games that were, people say Avengers, but that's stupid. The games that they've actually done are the Rise of the Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider remake, games that were 87, 88 Metacritic, pretty much big hits. And I think that's the team that you're kind of getting here, and that's the vision you're getting here, and it's going to be along those lines.
So we're basically getting Crystal Dynamics.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it's also a hiring
dynamics.
It's also a hiring thing.
I see a lot of big issues here, especially just looking at all the the complaints that we've seen now from former employees that have left. And yes, you can have disgruntled employees, but you're not going to have 34 of them within a year's time. 34 is a lot of people complaining.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
And some of those are high senior level creative folks that. I feel like it was already a red flag when Drew left, and it was kind of weird. Like the situation at first was, I think his brother died. And we felt like, okay, that's a good reason. But 2 weeks later, he went and got his old job back, and that was kind of weird. It was like, okay, that was a red flag for me. But when I look at the situation, I see just a lot of stuff that is going on there. There's definitely some turmoil there, and it looks like a power struggle. You're right, Zucker. But it looks like it's really because of Daryl Gallagher. It seems like he's very heavy-handed when it comes to, this whole hierarchy, top-down hierarchy thing going on where he rules the roost, basically, and what he says goes, it seems like. And that is a problem when you have a lot of great creative folks there, and then they end up leaving because they don't want to be underneath somebody like that. And then he gets his team over there that he's used to working with. And it looks, to me anyway, and we don't know anything for sure, but from the outside looking in, it looks like he gathered a bunch of yes men. That's what it looks like to me. Guys that he knows that'll just do what he wants them to do. He's done it before with them. Here they are.
That's quite a claim, though, Fonz, really.
A good way. No, it's just an assumption, but it's not a good one.
It is. It's definitely an assumption.
Here's where I think that Microsoft is kind of having a misstep. I think Microsoft's hands-off approach to their development teams is not always a good thing. It is for some cases, like Bethesda, they can do their own thing. But in cases like this with a new team and there is trouble there, I think Matt Booty should be in there kicking some ass and really trying to get them into gear. Because this is a problem.
What if Matt Booty is the problem?
And it just may be, but the thing is, at the end of the day,
it's
a management issue.
I don't want to blame anybody. It's all assumptions.
I think. Hold on. I think it's a hiring issue.
You're a hiring issue.
I think that losing this many people, like it's blatantly obvious that half the team left because they didn't agree with where it was going. Yeah. But also, how are you going to build a quadruple A whatever studio with 70 people and then have people hire? Like, look at everything around the industry. Obsidian has openly said that a studio wanted to buy them to just throw them on another game, and they declined an offer. Literally, CD Projekt Red changed their entire engine for Witcher to Unreal Engine 5 because it's easier to hire. Like the games industry manpower, like dealers talked about this, like that Activision Blizzard thing, Bethesda, it's just about manpower, getting people. And I think Xbox, if you look at 2018 till now, all those studios they bought from 2018 haven't really brought out a lot of stuff, minus Playground Games. And it's because they already had an established studio. So everything they've done after that, they've bought studios that already have 200 plus people or 100 plus people or this many plus people that have all these leaders involved. Initiative was the only studio they were like, we're going to build this from the ground up. And it was hard. And then the pandemic on top of it, like that is like insane to do that. Like you can't hire people that crazy. Like don't get me wrong. I think going with Crystal Dynamics was like sort of a comfort zone for Daryl Gallagher. I get that. But I also think that people are like, well, we're going to build our own game and we don't need Crystal Dynamics. And I think that's just what
I disagree is you don't lose 34 people like that, especially some really high regarded, developers.
I mean, Naughty Dog lost a shit ton of people after Last of Us 2.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, you can. This is why I say Microsoft needs to get a hold of this hands-off approach when it comes to their people, because their development teams. There's some development teams that don't need it, but then there's some like 343, these guys, and Rare, who just totally rebooted their game. They who knows when that'll ever come out? Everwild. They need to get a handle on this kind of stuff, because this is the kind of stuff that could get even worse down the line. I mean, if Daryl Gallagher, and I'm not saying this is true, but if Daryl Gallagher have some sort of, really mad ego, and there's this power dynamic struggle there because he doesn't want all these other creative people to have a voice. That is not a good thing if that were to if that's really the case.
I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that.
But this is what people are saying, though.
No, I mean,
you're going to believe.
But let's let each other talk. It's a fucking Gran Turismo, not a real Civil War.
I'm not going to listen. Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to listen to me or Tim Dog on a podcast. I'm going to listen to the developers who were there that are saying this stuff.
No, I'm just saying, like, for the show's sake.
They said pretty much what the developers said was that they weren't happy, or they weren't wasn't
being listened to.
Yeah, well, I think that what listened to is that I think that what happened was that they had a change of vision, and the people that left were basically the people with the other vision.
They kept saying that he kept changing.
Hang on,
the vision.
Fonz. Let Tim Bigger say what he's saying. Shit.
No, I just think that you're saying that the Xbox hasn't been hands on, but if you look at like Halo, they and 343 is still a mess, but they got Pierre and they got Joe Staten on the job, and they kind of fixed that situation. And on this situation, I think that they stepped in and they said, hey, this is going nowhere. We're going to go with the tried and true situation where we know it can work, where it's been done before. And I think that's when Crystal Dynamics came into play.
Yeah, but you can't deny that it could be a situation where I got people that will listen to me. Because I don't think with them in the past. But the thing is,
I don't know. But I do think I think the end result is what really comes to
let me
what
jump in real
all
quick.
about.
I'm about to change this topic in about 5 seconds.
No, Daryl Gallagher was pointed out to be the guy that kept changing direction in this game. Him.
Is he not allowed to do that?
Yeah, but let me just say this.
But it stifled creativity and it stifled
the
game.
You know what? If anything is to blame, Fonz, I would say why put so many fucking superstars. Yeah, the guys that led Red Dead, the producer of God of War 2018, Uncharted guys. Yeah. Why put them all on the same damn team? Give these guys their own games.
If you have
no, see, that's the problem right there.
You can do that.
Hang on, dude.
Hang on. Good management. When you have great management, you can do that. They don't have great management. It's obvious.
I mean, again, it's just a lot of assumptions. I don't know. Nobody likes. We talked about it last week. Like nobody likes this shit. But until we see, more, I can't really. Hear much.
Let me get on this real quick. I kind of alluded to this last week. Too many chefs in the kitchen, and when you got a bunch of alphas together, it's hard to get stuff done because everybody wants to be the leader. I think this probably was the best situation that could have happened because I think that they were at a standstill. And to be honest with you guys, I've been playing Crystal Dynamics games for years. Crystal Dynamics, with the initiative, with the money that they're getting from Microsoft, Crystal Dynamics makes fantastic games. Their tech is always, on the edge or right there. We're always using them as the benchmark for games and whatnot. So I think it's in good hands, to be quite honest with you. And learn from this in the future that you can't put too many chefs in the kitchen. You just can't. And hopefully some people were retained, and it looks like you got most of the Crystal Dynamics team. And it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Crystal Dynamics working with the initiative, with more technology, with all the different studios that Microsoft have sharing, collaborating ideas or technology or having the ability to tap into it, I think it's a good thing. I don't think we should be so worried for this. Just in the future, don't make the same mistake again. Don't have too many chefs in the kitchen, man.
You know
That's
what
my
it is
opinion.
like? It's like when, do you remember the story with Cory Barlog and his team with God of War 2018? They put a God of War, he made God of War, he put it in front of Yoshida, and Yoshida pushed it back and said, no, that's not good enough. Change it up. And they had to fix it. It's kind of like that where, you know, their studio might have had some differences or whatever, but they got it righted. Somebody up top said, no, change this, get it worked out, get it fixed. And that's all Microsoft needs to do is just get in there and do something.
Yeah,
And I'm
but
not saying
Fonz,
they're
the
not.
same
I'm
the
not
same
saying they're-
people the same
they're
people
not.
that said that to Cory Barlog also told him to take Atreus out. Also told him to make the combat more simple. Also did this, and he pushed back on it.
Super
Yeah,
So
and
like
fast.
that's
it's
fine, and that's
it's a
fine,
double
but-
it's a double-edged sword, right? So that's the whole point. If Daryl
Yeah.
does have a vision, and this is the reason they hired him, he was the first
Oh.
hire of the
Yeah,
initiative. Then yeah, you follow, you say what he wants. That's the vision he had that he pitched.
The only thing that's different really in this situation is we didn't have 34 developers, you know, really coming out and saying, hey, Cory Barlog is not listening to us and he's stifling creativity and he's not pushing forward with this game. It's not getting anywhere because of, you know, him changing direction so much. But that we are getting that from the initiative. And that is what's bad here. And that's why I can't see anybody kind of coating this and saying, nah, everything is all good. Not if these developers have said no. It's stifled
Obviously,
creativity.
it comes from
momentum.
it comes from a place where they screwed up 100%. But
yeah.
you know, I think that's not undeniable. But you know, you bring up
I
the
hope they get it right.
situation. Of course, yeah. But you bring the situation up. It just seems like what happened is that they were going nowhere. They were at a Gallagher wasn't happy, and you know they didn't have a huge team to begin with. So a lot of this was like 40 guys or 50 guys. I don't know if they were spitballing ideas and nothing was coming up, you know. But in this case, you've never really seen this really too, where a whole development team comes in mid-development and takes over. So I agree. Yeah, they deserve a lot of criticism for their vision because they pitched the vision to the fans, and the fans loved it. I know I loved it. But the reality is that it didn't come to fruition, what they were trying to do. And this, I think, is their fix to it. Now, whether or not it produces a good game, that's the big question. If they come out and they throw a 65 meta
Agreed.
at us, and we're going to all say they shit the thing. But if they come out and they get an 88 meta Perfect Dark and everyone likes it and thinks it's a really cool game.
And that's all we want, right?
But I think that's the end result. But yeah, there's definitely blame, and there's, you know, this isn't, you know, I agree with you. Sometimes the hands off a thing needs to be, you know, you have to have some people in on the things and making decisions and being a hard ass.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I think in this situation, not a good situation, but I do think that they have a handle on it since when they got Crystal Dynamics involved. And then the only reason why they probably have a handle on it is because they've done it before. They know each other, they worked with each other. And like you said, there's probably guys just saying yes to Gallagher and not saying, hey, you know, this sucks, you suck, and I have a better idea of you. If you keep having that type of interaction for a game and nothing gets done, there's a problem. So yeah, there's a
look, I'm not
there's
trying
an
to-
L here, though.
I'm
I
not
agree.
trying to fear monger or anything. I'm just basing my assumptions on the facts that were presented to me in these articles. When I read them and I read through the
it's
developers and what
concern,
they had to
for
say,
sure.
that is what I'm basing my assumptions on. It's not fear mongering. It's just, you know, what I see.
No, I
I'm
don't
not trying
think,
to be
I think
negative.
that's fair.
I want the best for this game, but I don't personally like. For me, the only negative thing I have to say surrounding this game and the initiative at all is the fact that I never wanted a Perfect Dark reboot. I don't care for a Perfect Dark reboot. I definitely don't want a first-person Perfect Dark reboot, but it is what we have. So all we could do is hope for the best.
Well, everything in that article was a perspective without all the other perspectives, right? It's only one side or two sides of a story that has 20 sides, and half those sides are drunk. It's something that we don't have any control over and don't know enough about. And until we do, I'd like to talk about it in more detail when that stuff's available. Until then, chat, are you concerned about the initiative? I was concerned when Drew Murray was helping lead the project because, it's seeing some of the games he's into. I'm not into those types of games, right? So he left, went back to Spider-Man. I was like, well, that's kind of weird. And then all this stuff's happening. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, well, fuck it. It wasn't going to come out for years anyway. I guess we'll see what it is. And I'd rather them do this than shoehorn something out the door. Quality. You want to take your time and build these things out, especially if you're getting the team together for the first time. It's going to take some time. But I'm not going to panic over it as of right now. I don't even know what the hell they're doing over there in terms of, something new, something that we're all going to enjoy. Fuck you,
Somebody
Zucker.
said it's not third person. Like they didn't know that. Yeah, it's not third person. Perfect Dark was always first person, but yeah, I was hoping if they were going to reboot it, they make it third person action adventure, something that they need at Xbox. In my opinion, they need more of that.
Well, the last Perfect Dark was third person as well. It just switched between both, I think. But Power Man 4K says if Xbox went anywhere near this pay model, journalists would be all over. I'm assuming he's talking about Gran Turismo.
Yeah, well, again, they didn't have all the credit system worked out when they did do their reviews. So that is what's not really cool about the Metacritic scores on Gran Turismo 7. It's not.
What's not cool about the scores on Forza Motorsport 7 is they said it had microtransactions, and it didn't.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah,
and they docked the scores. Yeah, so I think that's what Power Man is kind of getting at. But Purple Haze, by the way, he says, "Hey panel, where the F is my goddamn Batman Arkham Knight?" Oh yeah, October. Now is that really a thing? What do you mean? Oh, you talking about Gotham Knights?
Yeah, he's talking about Gotham Knights October. Then he's saying Arkham Asylum. Where the hell is that? It's 4K 60.
Yeah, Arkham Knight. Where is that 4K 60?
Arkham Knight. Sorry.
Well, the end of the year is stacked on with games.
What do we got coming out this year? We got Arkham Gotham Knight Lights. We got Harry Potter.
Starfield.
Whatever the fuck. And then you got
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What else?
Starfield, Redfall, God of War.
Too much.
The end of the year is looking insane, dude.
Hmm.
And then Ubisoft apparently has like 20 games in development right now. From
When
the
does
leaks
Suicide Squad get pushed back to?
20 next year,
Yeah,
2023.
And we've also got other stuff that you might not consider. Purple Haze also says that Kena Bridge of Spirits is coming to Xbox, as well as games like Sifu that are PlayStation timed exclusives. And then that's actually true. So,
Like Godfall.
Godfall. We'll get to that.
God awful. Yeah.
Sir
that's
X-Man
coming.
says initiative realized a drinking party was over. Zocker, you want to tackle some of these? Help me get some of these and fall behind.
Yeah, let me scroll.
You're sitting there.
Straw Hat says, question for the panel: what happens first, Xbox fixing the DVR or dealer putting RDX on a podcast app?
Probably Xbox fixing the DVR.
That's a fucking lie. They ain't never fixing it.
Oh shit.
We got Lord Starkiller, been in product dev and supply chain for a long time. Creative differences can happen. Perfect Dark is in good hands with CD Projekt or with Crystal Dynamics. They will move the game forward. Splendifer says, dealer, what are we talking about here? Huh? RDX hung up. Yeah,
Splendifer, you're drunk. Go home.
Yeah, we got Risk It. He says, they will be fine. I keep saying this. Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians was the issue. The initiative was a failed experiment. I hope they survive this. What the fuck?
That's kind of rough, Risk It. Calm the fuck down over there.
Leave them alone.
I know you're running for spiders and kangaroos and sharks all fucking day over there in Australia.
You know what's bad? The initiative, they've got one video on their YouTube channel. It's the video where they welcome everybody to the team and they show everybody on the team.
And those guys are gone.
All those people are gone. It's like Daryl Gallagher's the only one left.
Look, Daryl's a pimp. Daryl's a pimp. He's proven it in the past. He built out the Tomb Raider games. They were great. I really liked them. The head of the snake really dictates kind of where the body goes. And you know, Daryl's a proven leader. He's got a ton of experience. I'd be more concerned if he left and all the others didn't, honestly. So yeah, we'll see what we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I got one more, Lord Starkiller. The initiative's job, Gallagher, should be to attract the talent and then let the talent do the game dev. But you got to understand that Gallagher's the talent too.
Brigaders Blue, by the way, he says the problem is the studio is sold as a flat level studio where everybody has a say. He's basically saying that there's not enough. There's too much democracy going on over there, apparently. So basically, just like with Barlog, I had to argue with everybody. I want the turtle level, okay? I know I want Atreus. I want this big boss battle. I needed to fight with everybody over everything, over what essentially he was all right about. You know, he stayed the course and built the game he wanted to build. And so many tried to talk him out of it. The initiative, you know, there's a lot less of investment there. It's a new studio and stuff. So maybe you're right, Brigaders. Maybe you're right. We've also got Nano Polymath real quick. He says, PlayStation folks quick to bash on the initiative. He says they have short memories on Blue Box. What happened to Blue Box?
Abandoned. They got abandoned.
Oh, that's
remember?
Blue. I was thinking Blue Point.
No. They're talking about that abandoned thing that, you know, the people that are not making the game, and it's probably ran by one dude who just wants to get, you know, internet famous and is stupid. So
yes. So Nano's saying, yeah, these guys are making fun of the initiative, but short are their memories. We just dealt with the Blue Box scam stuff, which is pretty interesting.
Well, you know, you look at something like that, and the same people forget that Guerrilla Games was 7 years in development with, you know, Horizon and stuff like that. So, you know, the bottom line is it's not easy making these games, and there's a lot of problems.
I like that too.
And then Elden Ring came out and murdered them again. Hill.
It's
okay.
Stupid. Hey, we've also got Alvin here. He says there are still 40 plus members of the initiative team from Naughty Dog, Rocksteady, all the different studios that came together to kind of form that studio. Yeah, basically, it's not all doom and gloom, man. He also says, "Fuck you, Fonz. You're fear mongering."
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to go ahead and move forward on the topic. That one kind of took a minute, but a lot of passionate opinions. Let us know yours if you are concerned about the initiative. What do you think they're working on? We know it's Perfect Dark, but what do you think they're working on? And of course, let us know your thoughts as we do go along. We have a pretty interesting topic here. I don't know if anybody saw this. D, you might have seen this. It kind of feeds back into what we've been saying about the Series S, but there is a developer that basically went on Twitter and spoke up for their the Series S and just said it's so much more capable than what a lot of these developers are actually getting out of it. So
For sure.
the game's called Power Slave, and it's actually out now, I think. He says including now on native Xbox Series S and X. Build that runs at 4K 120 FPS. Series S has a surprising 4K 120. Wait, that skipped a line. Surprising amount of headroom that 4K 120 may be achievable. So even on Series S, and then this is what he's kind of really hammering home. He says that these developers are really underutilizing what Series S can do.
Right.
I mean, is it not believable, Fonz?
4K 120, depending on the game. No, it's
Not that part.
possible. Okay, what part?
Is it believable that maybe developers, a lot of them, which have shown after the fact with 60 FPS patches, boosts to resolutions and features, even full-on ray tracing with 60 FPS on games like Metro Exodus, one of the best-looking games ever on Series S, developers can really get a lot or not get a lot. And this guy's just saying, this is the main message. They're really underutilizing the hardware.
A lot of time it comes down to the talent as well. You know, that we've seen developers just bring so much out of even last-gen consoles. Hey, even 4A games with Metro Exodus, that's a good prime example. On the Xbox One X, it looked incredible for its time. I remember being blown away by that game. So talent has a lot to do with it, and of course, utilizing those tools, people. That has a lot to do with it,
the
too.
tools.
So,
yeah. His exact quote was, people are really under realizing its performance potential. And again, we did just get a 60 FPS patch for Dying Light 2 on the Series S. A lot of other games have gotten that patch as well after the fact. So it's just no more forget it, set it and forget it. Let's just get these games running better.
Yeah, the Series S, every game should run at least 60 FPS. There should be no 30 FPS games on the Series S. I don't care if you have to lower the resolution, dynamic resolution, FSR 2.0. I don't care. Use the tools that are available and get the best out of the system. It's like it's an afterthought for some of these developers, and we can see it because certain games that are way more demanding than other games are running at a higher resolution and higher frame rates, and you have some games that aren't as demanding running at a lower resolution or a lower frame rate, or their frame rates all over the place. Just like we have an RTX 3060 bottom of the line, or even a 1660. A 1660 can hit 60 FPS in every game with an 8-core 16-thread CPU. And there's no way in hell that the Xbox Series S shouldn't be able to do the same. So take advantage of the hardware. And it's I don't understand. Like, it's such a cheap machine. I don't understand why some gamers like to make fun of the machine. Yeah, it's not as good as the Series X, and it's not meant to be as good as the Series X or the PlayStation 5, and it costs a lot less than those systems. But for what you're getting a great experience, especially coupled with Game Pass. So developers, start using the system to its full capabilities, man.
Yeah, well said, D-Batch. I hope they do as well. You know what? We have a lot of other topics. If I can fucking talk, I just need to quit multitasking today. We have a lot of other topics I'm going to get to, but again, I reached out to that developer. We might have him on the show in the future. We got another developer I'm talking to who's working on an Xbox Series X game. We're going to be setting up a time with them as well, and some other guests. So stay tuned for that. But did you guys know? And you're forgiven if you didn't know. Sony just bought another studio, and nobody gives a shit, and nobody's talking about it.
No. I heard that this studio, Sony handcrafted them themselves. That's what I heard, man.
Well, they funded them originally. They funded this studio for their first project, and that was going to be an exclusive AAA multiplayer game.
Multiplayer
service game. Multiplayer. Sorry, exclusive multiplayer gas game. So it's something they need, and it wasn't surprising to me, though, to be honest, because when I saw that they were funding them, what was it, a year and a half ago or something, when they announced this, when Haven was announced, I thought for sure they were going to pick them up right away. So when this came out, I was like, oh, I thought they already picked them up.
So they did buy Haven Studios, right? That's their name.
I was not surprised.
The Jade Raymond studio, where she was from Xbox Stadia, then she built this studio. And was basically heading this game out, and apparently since the beginning, Hurst talked about it. Herman Hurst from the studio head at Sony was saying that, like, from the first pitch, it was a really good game. They were really impressed, and they put a lot of money in there. And then in such a short time, they got so much done that they were like, you know what? The people here in Jade Raymond are doing really well, so they invested by buying them instead. They're like, we're not going to just give you money. We want to like completely back you and basically have you be a part of Sony. So, we'll see what it happens. Like, there's no game. They haven't made any game, right? They haven't made anything. But if they bring out a game before the initiative, fucking fire sale.
Have we seen what they're working on?
They've been working on this. They've been working on this for a little while now, at least a year. Because I remember when they announced this. No, we haven't seen anything on it. We just heard that it was going to be a gas game. But that was it, and Jade Raymond was at the helm, and it was Haven Studios. And I just thought for sure, because they were talking about this a while, about Sony and everything, I thought they already picked them up. So when they mentioned this, I really already thought it was something that they did last year.
Honestly, Jade Raymond was one of the key figures on like Assassin's Creed, right? Developing that IP.
She worked for EA
she worked for EA after that, and Motive, which worked on Battlefront 2's campaign, which was fucking garbage. Back in the day, I'd been like, awesome, swoop her up, let her build whatever she wants, but I haven't seen anything that she's made that's like,
She hasn't made anything in like the last how many years?
Like, I'm confused.
She worked for Stadia.
She was working for Stadia for a while.
That's like 2 years, right? But what about the other 10?
But she didn't do anything there either at Stadia, really. So nothing has been cultivated from her or her team, for years. But that it really isn't a problem, none of this is a problem. But I don't see why people are hyped over this. Like, some people were hyped and saying, well, Xbots are going to start crying over that. And I'm like, what?
So that's
Why?
Bro, they made a fucking a GIF with Crunchyroll. These guys will take what they can get. That's what I think.
But that's honestly what I feel. I feel like the situation is, and I talked to some people about this. I kind of feel like they're doing this to combat the Activision deal, but what they're doing is what the fans don't want. They don't want no live action games. They don't want, the Bungie deal was part of getting the money from from Destiny and the games that they're making, but they're basically there to prop up this live service model that they have, that they want 10 games by 2026. So for all these Sony guys who made fun of that games like Xbox getting whatever it was, whether it would be Sea of Thieves or Ark at the time that they had Ark. I mean, just, games, or I'm trying to think of other live service games, but, most people don't like them. So to me, this is just like deals that they're just trying to bolster up to say, hey, we have so many studios. But if you really compare the studios, and that's basically what, gamers do, Xbox is far and above, have a higher pedigree. I mean, the last studios that they've bought have been like Fire Sprite, studios that like the support studio, Nixis.
Yeah.
They're very particular studios.
Blue Point is the most notable, I would say.
Yeah, Blue Point is a good one, but that they make remakes for the most part. So to me, this looks like more of just like they're trying to just say, hey, look where we're doing this. And if anything, I think it helps Xbox's plea to get this deal done, because here this the obvious Sony market leader. They're making all these moves. So they're gonna have the vote on the stock. On the for the stock in a couple of weeks for Xbox and this Activision deal. Doesn't mean the deal's done. It just means the shareholders approve of it, which I don't really remember. But I do think that it's going to pass, and I think that Sony kind of maybe made it a little bit easier for them, with the stupid monopoly argument, because they did purchase these studios, and they're number one, and obviously they're still probably going to be number one even with Activision. So there's really no water to. There's no real reason why you can block that deal, in my opinion, and I think there's more to come on that. But overall, I just felt like it was an optics move. But for stuff that's, let's be honest, Sony guys have always made fun of these live games, and when you heard it was a game that was a multiplayer only type game, they would laugh and say, ha ha ha, that's Xbox, that's all they do, we get the big single player.
That's what they need. Like, come on, as gamers, they need that.
Exactly. But so I don't know. To me, I think it's an okay purchase. Looking back, probably the Bungie was probably a smart purchase if you're going to get this going. But I do think that in the next 4 years or 3 years, you're going to see a drastically different Sony. And I don't know if their fans are going to like much what they're putting out. I mean, maybe it's going to be something that they love, but Xbox has been in this for a while. They've been making live service games. They have one of the biggest out with Sea of Thieves, and I think Grounded is a live service game.
Oh, come on, they already started with Gran Turismo 7. I mean,
yeah, and that's off to some start. So I guess we'll see. But just to me, I agree. I don't feel like. You shouldn't be bragging about this. That's the last thing you should be doing.
Well, it's just about the manpower, right? We just said it. That's why they bought it. They just need more people to make more games, and that's what they're trying to do right now. And I'll give credit to Sony. They're out there buying shit. So it's whatever, right? They're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep buying studios. They're going to keep announcing it, just like Xbox is. I get like it pales in comparison to what Activision is and Blizzard and all those. But at the same time, this live service games, you said most people don't like them. I call bullshit on that, because there's so many of them and they make a shit ton of money.
Yep.
Like, look at Apex Legends, look at Halo, look at everything that's become live service. Look at GTA with $200 cars. I'm buying it. I don't give a fuck.
You mean
so
you mean Gran Turismo 7?
Gran Turismo 7, not GTA. I'm watching you do this stupid ass mission.
Hey, look, RWK88 says this channel needs drama. Look, this is stuff that's happening, man. Like, if you Go watch a boring fucking journalist YouTube channel that does a podcast that don't talk about the shit they talk about behind the scenes with their friends, but don't talk about it publicly. Go watch their shit because, we don't feel the need to hide the conversations about that stuff behind the scenes like they do. We're going to talk about all that stuff,
Xbox,
every
we
aspect.
do it with
So
Sony, we do it with
all the
anybody.
time, all the time. So if it's funny, if it's interesting, we'll bring it up just to create conversation around it. By the way, Legionary, he is from Northern Ireland. He's watching the show. We got a lot of guys over there watching the show. Big shout out to you. Kid Smooth is in the super chat as well, Fonzarelli.
Yeah, what's up, Smooth?
He said Square Enix agrees to sell Crystal Dynamics to Eidos and Eidos to Xbox. It would come under the same regulations. That we would have Microsoft anticipated to buy parent company. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny there either way, man. Like, you're talking about a lot of money. How much are they worth, Zucker? Do you know that?
Who?
All of Square.
Oh, Square Enix? I don't fucking know. Let me look it up.
Probably like a couple of dollars and a now and later
$6 in a
or
Final
something.
Fantasy game.
Who knows?
And a Big Mac.
But with Haven Studios, though, and I'll look. I still maintain that I think that it's going to come down to. I think they're bolstering their lineup for getting more gas games and stuff because I think this is the kind of stuff.
332 billion yen.
So $17.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
No, but I do think that they're going to be making more games for like Spartacus and stuff for their sort of Game Pass service. These types of games are going to be thrown in there, and they're going to make a lot of microtransactions and stuff off these types of games. And more power to them.
RWK says figured that would get you going next in 720 drama. Big difference. Also, we got Sinji in the super chat as well. Best part of Tuesdays. Thank you all for all you do, gentlemen. Welcome back, Tim Dog. Tim Dog, you was gone too. I forgot.
Yes, welcome back, Tim.
Yeah, I was sick and just pretty much really sick. I was trying to make the show and I pulled out like at 7:45. I was like, "Dealer, there's no way." And he was cool about it. But I'm glad to be back. Feeling a little bit better for the most part. Better. It's definitely a lot different than the first time.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
How much does that money translate in British stones?
I think it's like 5 to 8 billion.
So basically, that's Final Fantasy.
I think it's even that much.
Why are you bringing up Final Fantasy? You know that's a banger.
Well, hey, we got to give a big shout out to the chat, guys. Let us know your thoughts. That stuff may or may not happen. We'll see. Shout out to almost 1,400 people watching us live, guys. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy or two about the show. We do got some other topics to get to as well. I'm trying to get through these messages, keep popping up, and all this crap. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got a new partnership Microsoft are working on. Actually, that's what I'm going to try to transition out of this PlayStation 5 studio that nobody's talking about.
Did you say that was 33 billion yen? Is that what you said?
Is what it says. 332 billion yen,
Oh,
and then when you transfer it, it becomes 5 to 8 billion dollars.
Yeah.
For their net value, like how much they would have to pay to buy them. But I don't want them, so.
All right. Well, what if?
Yeah, I'm only getting 3 billion here with this converter here online with this calculator.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it'll be like to buy out. It'd be like 5 bill or 8 bill or whatever the hell.
Yeah, this is like not even 3 billion worth. Wow. Okay.
Well,
I thought they were worth more than that.
I mean, it really makes you think about Activision. Like, holy shit, what the fuck? 70? What? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, new PlayStation 5 studio. Nobody's talking about. I forgot that it was Jade Raymond's, actually, when you mentioned that. I was like, what has she made in the last 15 years? Nothing, really?
I think the last game she executive produced was like Watch Dogs in 2014.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Well,
Banger.
We're wishing her the best, and we have nothing but respect for her. Also, there is a new partnership going on with Microsoft and Sega. This is for 2022. They've got these special controllers. Tim
the
Dog,
fuzzy ones.
That's right.
The furry controllers.
Wait, that was a real thing? I thought it was a meme.
No, D-Badge.
Nah, it's fucking real, and you better buy it.
Right.
Zucker, explain these controllers to people, man. You got them all on the edge of their seats.
They fucking fluffy, bro. You grab them, you play them, you cuddle with them. I don't know if anybody's seen this. It's like the Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles controllers with like, red and blue, and they're like fuzzy control. It looks like it weird, bro. Like,
Just so you pick it up
man.
like after a
You
weekend
bought
of
both of
gaming and the hair's all rock hard and shit.
No, I'm
it's
just
all
saying,
sweaty.
like, let's say you live in like, let's say you live in like Alaska or Antarctica and shit. And it's a little cold out, right? Get one of these fuzzy controllers, put them on your little hands, little Randall Thor hands, and then get your achievements.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know,
wash
man.
your controller if that's fuzzy.
That's
On
disgusting, bro.
What? I'm just saying. That's gross.
Yeah, you're playing with your boys.
I
Hand the
agree.
controller over, and it's like,
The rock
Like
hard
eating
fucking
and
fur on the
shit.
Yeah,
controller.
touching that,
like
yeah.
peanut butter on dude. It's just
Tim
like,
Dog, don't get peanut butter on things.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I just consider. I don't know. That's a germ freaking controller. It's just gross.
looks like a Smurf got assassinated, bro.
So how much are these running, Tim Dog?
I think 65.
Oh my gosh, man!
65 too much.
I thought it was a meme
Hey,
straight up.
Hardeep said
I'm looking at it now. I can't
I
believe
would
this
Hardeep
shit.
said that Square Enix's market cap is a little higher. It's about 680 billion yen. It's a little less than $6 billion.
So $17.
So 15 cents.
Hmm.
Buy it
So
or-
back to these weird furry controllers that Sega decided to do in collaboration with Microsoft. Why
Yeah,
is this
I'm looking at
happening
them
now?
This is a no. This is a no from me. I wouldn't buy into this, and I wouldn't even promote this. It's weird.
Well, who asked you to buy it or promote it?
I'm just telling you, like, why would Microsoft even entertain this? It's odd.
There's Sonic
If
fans
Mr.
out there.
Snuffleupagus was a gamer, jeez.
I want to hear from real Sonic fans in the chat, not this fraudarelli. Are you guys excited for a Sonic controller that has a built-in shake weight? I don't know.
Are you looking at it, dealer? Do you have it in front of you?
Bro,
It's
I know
belly-
it's weird. That's why it's a topic.
What the hell, man?
Sonic's belly button is also on the battery thing.
If you got
Oh
a
my
comb, your controller, it's a problem.
I'm only kidding.
You gotta comb your controller, bitch. This thing's dirty.
Oh my god.
Why does it smell like shit?
Oh my
Smell like
God.
crap gamers channels. Ah! Hey,
Oh, wow.
so they're retailing for $65. When did they come out, Tim Dog, and how many did you buy?
I don't know. Like a D said, I saw it and then I thought it was just blue and red, and then I saw the hair and I'm like, oh,
It's a
God.
movie promotion, according to Matt in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if they have in the chat if they have any information on it.
Those are made
Like-
for sweaty
so I
game
guess that
sessions.
console is
Hey,
custom too.
Sapo's
The
right. You know,
console's real?
it's not a bad
Those
idea.
those are made not to never play. Like I guess just put on a.
Fuck that. That thing is getting played.
Dude, I'm fucking
Did you
getting
see
it.
the
I'm going to put it
console?
on my wall.
See the
That's
console
gross.
attached to it with both
gross.
of them on it, Knuckles and Sonic with a gold
Yeah.
ring. Is that real too? What the hell, man?
Hey, listen, Microsoft tries a lot of different things, and they get a lot of, grief from it. It's silly, but it's at the end of the day, if it's not your choice, just move along.
Yeah, but I don't see
Collector's
anybody
item, I
buying
guess.
those controllers to use. I think you're right, dealer. People are going to buy them just to put them up.
Collector.
Real big
Yeah.
Sonic fans going to just
Yeah.
leave them in the box.
Who the hell would want to use that? Like, think about it. Just, just gross.
Dude, fuck all y'all. I'm playing all my games with that.
I'll throw the controller in the washing machine. It'll come right out and throw it in the dryer.
The worst thing is like, what if you get it and it like crawls around and shit? You're like, oh fuck!
It's like one of those fucking Furbies.
Yeah.
Carolina Gaming says, I just looked them up. These things are ugly as shit. I don't know. I'm not shitting on them. I thought it was interesting. And I think people in the chat are right. It is a movie tie-in promotion. I forgot all about that movie. And the first one didn't make me want to instantly jump off a cliff. I
didn't even watch the first one yet, man. I
You're a
haven't seen
fucking
shit.
bitch. You know that?
I try to be. Fuck Sonic.
You're
No, I'm
always
joking.
trying to ruin my hype about stuff.
Fuck Hogwarts.
Zaka is a toddler. The chat, let us know if you watched that Sonic movie. It came out a couple years ago. Well, it actually wasn't horrible. It actually wasn't horrible. And yes, it's a collector's edition controller. Fonz will be purchasing many of these.
At least 5.
Zalker, swoop up some of these super chats while I get the next topic up. We got some really good topics coming up.
All right, we
What
got
the fuck is y'all
we
guys
got
gotta do?
RWK says figured that would get you going. Next Gen 720 drama.
Hmm.
All right. And then we got Hargeet says Square Enix current market value. I think Fonz just read that.
Yeah, we read that.
And then we got Scott Woodford. He says, my son wants me to win it.
The controller?
All right.
Oh, okay.
Then go win the
Yeah,
controller.
You just win anything. You weren't very
Get it for your
descriptive,
son.
so you can technically win anything you want.
Flapjack Juice says, for your information, Walmart has Series X. I want a Chia controller.
That's
And then
what it looks
Hedgehog
like,
donated
the
$1
controller.
and say anything. Thank you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, actually, a couple of my coworkers finally got Series X's from Walmart. They went and bought them, and they're just like, I finally got it. And I was like, all right, bro, relax. They're fucking
Relax.
excited.
Mid-gen refreshes are right around the corner. Relax.
PS4 Pro are coming.
Oh, God.
PS5 Pro, my bad.
Well, those might not be coming, but you know what is? Hogwarts Legacy.
Hell yeah.
Look, I am not a Harry Potter fan, right? Like I watched
bitch.
the first couple movies, I think, and I plan on getting through them. But even to me, I was like, wow, this game looks big. Like it just looks bigger than I expected it to be. Like the open world, all the crap you could do. I don't know if it's going to be fun, if the combat's going to be great. I'm just saying it looks like they went all in on this, which is really the only way you can do a Harry Potter game, right?
Well, that's what the guy said, man. Like the dude developing the game was like, we sat there and we're like, yeah, this could be about Hogwarts, and we didn't want like the player to like look out the window and see a mountain or see something and be like, wow, I wonder what's over there, and then they can't go to it. He's like, what is beyond the Forbidden Forest? What's beyond this? He's like, we wanted to answer those questions, and we like made the scale of the game that much bigger to do that. And they worked with like the creator, obviously, and they worked with a bunch of people to like show what is beyond those things and expand on the world. Like if you want to see something in Harry Potter that's not in the movies or have been hinted at in the books, I've read all the books. It's like it just looked really impressive to me. I think it looks fucking awesome as a Harry Potter fan. So even Dealer, I thought Dealer was gonna fucking hate on it, but he was like, it's not that bad looking. So
Look,
Fonz came
I
out of
know
nowhere
what
and
good
started
games are. Unlike you,
suplexing
Mr.
everybody.
Sea of Thieves. Okay, if I say it looks pretty good, it's probably going to be pretty good.
Go play Dirt 4 again.
Hey, chat. Dirt 4. Hey, chat. Let us know if you
Avengers looked like it was going to be amazing too. Look how that turned.
can mods do polls, or can only I do a poll? I think only I can do a poll.
You can only do a poll, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Kat, I'm gonna do a poll and try to get some numbers. See how many of you guys are excited for this. But I mean, anything that stood out besides the pretty expansive open world, the broom flight,
RPG mechanics.
Yeah, the RPG mechanics. So explain some of that.
Like just how you can level up, build a character you want to build, the way you want to build it. They even hinted at the story. They didn't talk about that at all. Like they were just like, yeah, we're not gonna talk about the story, but here's some hints of it, blah blah blah. But like you go learn stuff and learn different spells, fight different enemies, fight trolls, the destructible environment. Like it's insane, man. It's very expansive, and like if you go like fly around on your broom around the world, like I don't know, it kind of just. I didn't expect that, honestly. I thought Hogwarts Legacy was going to be like, you run around Hogwarts, sure, you might go into the forest here and there, but they were like, nah, man, you're going fucking everywhere. Like, you can do whatever you want, use spells, fight dark wizards, fight crazy shit around the world.
Here's the
Like, it
best
looks
part, though.
sick.
The best part: $70.
Hell yeah. Does it have $200 cars in it or broomsticks?
$70.
Well, we all know, unless it was in Game Pass, Fonz, you wasn't going to play it anyway, Fraud.
Shit. You're right about that.
Shit.
Yeah, I put a poll up, guys. Let us know if you're excited for Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not excited, but I'm going to definitely try the game out, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Scott Woodford as well. He says he went to high school with the people that made the Sonic movie.
Oh, okay.
Were you friends with them, Scott?
Did you talk about the hairy controllers?
Tell us.
You get
Tell us some stories.
extra credit.
Sir X-Men says scalpers will get to the controllers. This is ridiculous. Now they're snatching up controllers, the furry controllers. I'm done with these scalpers, Fonz.
You know what I just noticed now? That
Oh,
that Hogwarts is $70. That means Gotham Knights is going to be $70.
Yep.
Yep.
All
Man.
WB games are going to be $70.
Yeah, I mean,
Next gen.
next gen
Next
slash.
gen prices.
Here's the PC settings we turned on. Yeah.
Next gen prices.
Well, speaking of next gen, this is real next gen, right? Godfall is finally hitting the Xbox console. Not only the old ones, but the new ones as well.
Yes.
We've been
if you
waiting for
remember,
this.
if you remember, the developers originally came out and said Godfall on the PS5 could not run on a last generation console. They then announced it for PS4. They then also announced it for the old Xbox One. So
you've got the great version.
Yeah, you got the great version. But is there any information about the Xbox
Is this
version?
bitch coming to Game Pass?
Godfall?
Yeah.
I don't think it is it?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
Game
care.
Pass,
That's,
man.
I'll gladly pay.
I don't think so.
Eventually, it's going to be Game Pass.
I don't think it's Game Pass.
I saw
No,
somebody.
it's not. It's not announced for Game Pass. It's not.
Okay, so that was a bad tweet, but I'm not hyped for this game. The game is dog shit. It was dog shit. I thought it was dog shit back then. I think it's dog shit now.
Damn.
I don't think any Xbox guy was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, Godfall. We finally got it." Like, I don't think anybody really cares. It's like a non-story for me. It's like, whatever, man. Like, get used to it this generation. I don't think people give Sony a lot of credit, and I gotta say, Sony is good at putting those smoke and mirrors up there because, Sifu, I thought was a PlayStation exclusive, and I bought it on the PlayStation. Only 2 minutes later to find out that it's on freaking PC, so I had to get a refund for it, and then I got it on PC. And they're good at making you think that the game is exclusive.
Why don't you look before you buy?
Well, like I said, they're very effective in what they do, right? They're effective with the marketing, so that you just start to associate the game with their platform, and they're good at that. I'll give them their due. And Godfall is one of those titles that people kind of forgot about, that it's going to be a multi-plat, but I don't think it matters. The game sucks. Like it's not a fun game. It doesn't look cool. It's whatever, man. My opinion.
I agree with your opinion. Your assessment is spot on, in my opinion. So,
all right. Well, apparently Hogwarts isn't a Harry Potter game. Fuck all y'all, okay? I fuck all the Harry Potter game. All right. That's my association
it's in the
with
Harry
it.
Potter universe. It's
yeah, it is.
Come on, stop.
It's called the Wizarding World. Fuck.
God.
It's called
and some of the stuff
Hogwarts.
If you ever go out correcting people about this shit, it's not a Harry Potter game. You're fucking quoting it, the Wizarding. Shut the fuck up. I don't know anything about Harry Potter. I think it looks interesting. I'm gonna play it. Give me a congratulations. Come on, guys. Shout out to Others Inc. for putting LOL.
For $70? No.
Shout out to Devil Says. It's like, it's not Harry Potter. I know. I'm fucking with you guys. Thanks for watching. It's Harry Potter. Also, Godfall, again, I want you guys to go back and literally rewind the show when you get done listening to this, and listen to the part where I said Godfall's coming to Xbox. Not only that, but they lied about it not being able to come to last-gen consoles. Nobody gave a single shit about this game coming to Xbox.
Nope.
Chat.
Why would they?
Are you excited for Godfall? That's why I always have to call in the chat, because I'm like, surely somebody out there has a furry controller.
No!
Tim Dog is not excited for it.
I hope it's a Game Pass game. Not because I want all games to go into Game Pass, but just because I don't really think nobody's going to buy it. It has a real bad reputation. They kind of, short-sighted the Xbox community at the beginning of the gen, if you remember, or if that guy had Randy Pitchford being a dick to Phil. Since then, he's been cooler, and stuff has, been, pushed back. But the bottom line is that, is anybody really excited for it? And when there's so many other games that are out there that are so good, no. I really have a hard time thinking that anybody's going to buy this game.
I think you're right. That's the only place it would get any playtime is Game Pass. I don't think I doubt hard. Nobody in this community that I know of is saying they're going to get it on Xbox. So
I mean, does it the game's coming out at like a fucking dumb time? Elden Ring is still going strong. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is coming out this Friday. Like, no one gives a shit. Like, I guess like April, there's not really much coming out. So I like maybe like it'll get some traction, but the game has terrible reviews. It's just I think it's just a dead game. Like,
nobody cares.
Damn, bro. The PlayStation fanboy narrative is going to win out here. Xbox players don't buy games. Nobody's going to buy Godfall. Damn it.
Nobody bought it on PlayStation.
Oh, yes, they did. There was a lot of people that bought it and were trying to pretend like it was great at first, and then like a little while later.
Well, the three dumbasses that live on Twitter, not dumb.
It was so funny how quiet they got. Yeah, how quiet they got after a while. It was hilarious. Yeah, this game is pretty damn good. It's impressive. Yeah, look at the particle effects.
Yeah, it sucked.
A week
I
later,
played it for like
okay.
20 minutes, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I never touched it again.
Top quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
y'all,
legitimately still playing Elden Ring, so who gives a shit?
y'all are just haters.
Kinda.
Okay, with this game, yeah. I mean, why? If a bad game's bad, it's bad. I mean, it doesn't matter what platform it's on. If it stinks, it stinks.
But that's all opinion.
Well,
My opinion is you a bitch.
It's a wide-ranging opinion. Most gamers agree it's bad.
I'd like to see that data.
Metacritic.
Such a fuck face.
I'm just poking him.
Metacritic.
He's like, oh yeah, there is no data. Fuck.
There's data. There's data.
Hey,
Metacritic
Fonz,
and
we know
Twitter.
you're going to be playing Godfall day one, bitch. Tell us why you're excited.
The particle effects, the cool armor pieces, and it reminds me of a Destiny killer. I can't wait.
Oh man.
You know, I actually like the name though. I feel like it's a wasted name, like Godfall. It's such a sick name, and then it's just like, what a trash. I don't know, man. I just think it's a good name,
Yeah,
but it's just wasted.
Cool. Yeah,
All right.
wasted on trash.
I don't know, just a little thing in my head.
Well.
Come on, you can't talk about these people like that.
Oh my god, I gotta quit. Hey, hey, we gotta give a big shout out to Mad Wheel, $20 super sticker. Big shout out to him. He's dropped so many codes for Game Pass. He's supplied games to at least 20 people, and that's awesome. We've also got what is that? Screen name. Shout out to you. He says, "What's up, D-Batch? You are secretly the best on the panel." And I changed it.
Most fucking talented.
Yeah, he is the most. He's the most
you
talented.
know it.
He says when you get the chance to actually look up the PA32 UCGM monitor, it will blow your mind off the back of your face.
Is that the quantum dot one?
Probably.
Look,
I'll
this
answer
is a
in like
weird
15
discussion
seconds.
it's hard to do this between y'all, but
Yeah,
y'all can hook up, whatever. I'm going to continue and go forward.
DMs.
Danny Passion, by the way, says Godfall, no thanks. We've also got Cedric. Shout out to you, longtime listener. He says, I've seen some PS fans, he says, wanting Xbox fans not to play the trash.
Hey, yeah, is anybody, that's a good poll to put out there. Is anybody going to pick that game up when it drops on Xbox? Anybody in here going to pick up God Awful or Godfall?
There has to be at least someone in the chat's going to buy Godfall.
Don't be shy. If you're going to get it, I'm not going to pick on you too much. But yeah, I mean, seriously, put it out there. If you're going to buy it, let us know.
Oh, I can't wait to see the results.
Yeah, I know. In about 30 seconds.
In about
they'll
30
answer.
seconds. I guess we can't. Well, Godfall's coming. Whatever. I don't know what they're doing on the consoles or specific optimizations, but we all know what's possible, right? Zalker, there's an Activision topic here. Apparently, they could potentially speed up the whole voting process, right?
Yeah, so there's apparently like stakeholders or stockholders are going to be voting for favor for Microsoft. That's going to be due on April 28th. And apparently, like, even if that doesn't go through, there's still a way they can buy out. The FTC is actually asking for more data on the acquisition. So that's happening. They put in an injunction for that, which was apparently like planned, like people knew it was going to happen. And so there's a lot of things moving forward. And since it is happening by like they said 2023 fiscal year, people don't realize this, but that starts in like June of this year and goes all the way to next year. So the deal, technically, if the FTC does everything now and the things get voted, this deal can close pretty quickly by like end of year. So we'll see if it passes through. FTC is locking down, but like what's his face? I forgot his name. The guy that was here like 2 weeks ago, the guest. Michael Pachter said FTC doesn't really hate Microsoft. So we'll see what happens. I think the next month and a half, if not 2 months, is going to be pretty telling of what happens with this Activision deal, because we're going to have the stockholders go in there and vote. Then we're going to have the FTC thing come up. So there's a lot of moving parts right now, and things are heating up with this. So we'll see.
Yeah, right now they're urging stockholders to vote in favor. And like you said, I think according to Hoag's Law, somebody told me, I don't know, I mean, he might have said this on his channel, I'm not sure, but according to Hoag's Law, he said that there's an option to proceed even without the majority vote, blah, blah, blah. So it could go through faster than what some expected, but I feel like that argument, that kind of talking point was always on the table, so it wouldn't really surprise anybody, I guess. But I guess we'll see. What is kind of surprising is Ghostwire. Right now, we're getting a lot of information about the game. It is one of Microsoft's first-party titles now that they own ZeniMax, and it comes from Tango Gameworks, right? The guys that made The Evil Within 2. Correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Well, Windows Central says, Ghostwire Tokyo, review in progress. Man, an intriguing game may lie behind an army of discard... What?
An array of
it's
discordant design choices. I have no
discordant
idea.
Design I had to double take that. Discordant. If they went out of their way to find the words to make this sentence just now when they didn't have to do this, they must be really frustrated. What are you hearing? Is there more stuff going around about this, Tim? Are you hearing more about Ghostwire Tokyo, and is it just an outlier?
I haven't heard much of it. I know that it got the 75 Metacritic and people trying to make fun of it.
Is that what is that now?
Yeah, it's 81.
76
Oh,
on
shit.
PlayStation, 81 on PC.
Yeah, so overall it's probably like a 77 on Open Critic, which is not that bad. A lot of people, are trying to make fun of the game, but the game seems to be pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of sites that gave it 100, so it seems like it's a little bit of a polarized game. But for me, I hope the studio goes back to making Evil Within 3. That would be pretty cool. I don't know how much you really can take from it. It's one of Bethesda's smaller studios, and I don't think that they have pushed out 90 Metacritics, or anybody really thought the game would be a 90 Metacritic. But other than that, it's just getting some people love it and some people just hate it. So it's kind of polarized in the reviews.
It kind of
There was
reminds
some
me of
hype.
like Prey. It kind of reminds me of Prey. Like you either love it or you hate it.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what it is.
I didn't love it or hate it. I think it's
quite
okay.
a bit of hype. There was quite a bit of hype behind this game initially when it came to a lot of Sony guys because of the exclusivity deal, I believe. But
Yeah.
they were hyping this up, and every time I saw it, I wasn't into it. Like, it just doesn't look good to me. The whole first person aspect looks kind of off. Like, there's something about it that doesn't look like it's a fun game to me. But some people may love it. I don't know. It's a lot like Dishonored to me and that sort of thing. Like, I don't care for those games too much, and that's what it looks like to me. So
When I first saw the game, I was like, "Oh, this looks really interesting. What's going on with all these people that are just vanishing?" I thought it was going to be like some, third-person action adventure. And when I actually saw it was first-person in a style of game, that's when I completely lost my interest in it. So I it's not for me. That being said, though, 77 on PS5 or whatever, and 81 on PC. That's not really a bad score. That's a pretty good
it's not
score. It's a
terrible.
decent score that's worth a playthrough. So if you like that genre, you like that style of game, you might enjoy it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, if you like Dishonored or Prey, like you guys were saying, yeah, you guys might love the game.
Hey, Darnell says he says that it's still rated higher than Days Gone, which is true. Days Gone was a 71 meta, and as me and Fonz talk about occasionally, we thought Days Gone was higher than the meta. I thought it was like a 78, and that doesn't mean this game's bad. We're just giving you the information. So I was a little bit surprised to see any real negativity at all so soon, but that's mainly because I was like, holy shit, this comes out very soon on the PlayStation, and it'll come out next year for the Xbox. Deathloop as well, right? And someone else in the chat said people are just expecting Deathloop review scores, which were 9s and 10s, stuff like that.
And think about this, like Jedi Fallen Order was an 81 on Xbox. It's way better than an 81.
And 81? Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a 70-something on another platform, so.
Yeah, so, different strokes, man. People like different things.
Yeah. And then you got Elden Ring, Game of the Year.
Firestar 660 says it probably deserves that score. I don't know, sir. I haven't played it.
It might, but you never know.
Hey, you know that website that didn't review Gran Turismo because basically Sony stopped sending them their games because they
Survivor.
didn't. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They finally reviewed Gran Turismo and they gave it a 7.5.
Yeah, they gave Ghostwire Tokyo like a 90.
What a bunch of crooked fucks.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I'm trying here, chat.
I mean, the game looks pretty creative. Like, I'm looking at some of the gameplay because I remember when it first showed the gameplay, like what was it, like a couple weeks ago, that like 15-minute gameplay state of play thing. Like, it looked interesting, and after seeing some reviews on it, like the game looks like something I would check out. But I don't know. I don't think it. I think it's different than what people thought it was going to be. Like,
Doesn't some of the mechanics though look kind of disjointed at times? Like when you're pulling off some of those weird moves, like it just doesn't
I
look.
like the hand movements. The hand movements.
The hand movements look sick.
The hand movements,
like
but
that.
the actual, like, you know, the moves you're doing, like the shooting out of different, I don't know if it's magic or what you're doing there, but whatever it is that you're doing, it just doesn't look all that fun. I don't know. Just doesn't look fun.
That's weird.
That's just me.
It's a different mechanic. I know. It sounds like draining some energy out of one and then firing something in another ghost guy and he disappears. It's a little weird.
It looks fast, man. It looks insane.
Yeah, it looks fast. But yeah, not for me. Hand motions look cool. New dynamic for people that like that game. Whatever. If you like it, you like it, man.
I mean,
We all like
I'll give
different
him
things.
credit for creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are not excited for Godfall. I'm looking through the chat here.
No way.
Yeah.
Who could be? Who could be?
Javier in the
And
chat.
you know
was the
what?
one guy that
There's-
said he's going to buy it. So
There's something to be said too. Releasing a game a year later, like your desire for that game dwindles. There's like spoilers on the internet. You're not enjoying it with everybody at the same time, so that feeling is kind of lost. I'm not a big fan of maybe 2-3 months, sure, but like a year later, I'm not a fan of that business. So hopefully, Microsoft has all these studios now. Hopefully, going forward, we don't see any of this happening again because it's just dumb. It hurts the game in the long run, to be honest.
Oh, I see Harky's chat. You're lucky I even found this just now. Yeah, I got to I went to actually do that and I was in the middle of something, but then I couldn't because I had to end the other poll and I didn't have time, but I will do that now. So yeah, I mean, Ghostwire Tokyo, I don't know if anybody really knows much about the game, the premise, why you're doing, what the fuck is happening in this game. Basically, to sum it up real quick, why
Ghostbusters?
What Ghostbusters?
That's
With
kind of
use-
what it is. Yes, you're
What?
taking out ghosts. Yeah.
Ghostbusters?
Yes.
You saw a different
Yes.
Ghostbusters than I did.
Some people liken it to Ghostbusters in reviews.
This is the
that I read.
Japanese version of Ghostbusters, dealer. Come on.
So
You're taking out
With it,
ghosts
brother.
around Tokyo. So
You're basically fighting ghosts and doing a bunch of crazy shit. It looks kind of insane. I don't know. I'll check it out in a year when it goes on Game Pass. Right? Like
I
that's
mean,
what we're
it
doing with
will go to
Deathloop.
Game Pass because they're first party, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm waiting. Like Deathloop, this. Like I'm just gonna wait. Like doesn't. I don't need. I'm not in a rush. There's a lot of games to play.
are you going to even be done with Elden Ring by then?
Bro, I'm still in the capital. I've been in the capital
what
for
I'm
like
saying.
6 hours.
You're going to be playing that next year. Oh, I can't play that game. I'm still playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'm still clearing out the capital.
All right. The poll is up, Hargy. That one's for you. And I want to know how many of you are actually going to buy Hargy. I need hard numbers. Oh, and also shout out to everybody watching the show, guys. We're just chilling, sipping on some tea, eating some crumpets. We're talking about Godfall. Oh, and also Witcher, which Zalker kind of mentioned earlier. It's going to be running on Unreal Engine 5 because they need an engine that's more accessible to more developers, and the Red Engine has the clap. So they're switching over, and that's
There's a bunch of
interesting.
developers doing that. There's a bunch of developers doing that, helping Epic basically push over the open world and make Unreal Engine 5 way more accessible to open world games. And I think they're working on one. I forgot who else. I think Ubisoft or somebody was helping them with the other, like making it just more open world friendly.
And
so-
plus, what a lot of developers are saying about Unreal Engine 5 is that it's really user friendly, and once you get it, like it's really intuitive and a lot easier to use than the previous Unreal and a lot of other engines out there. So it sounds like Unreal Engine 5 is really going to be the new standard going forward.
Yeah,
for
it's
a lot
good.
of games.
I was just about to say that it's gonna definitely be the new standard. In fact, I think it's pushing technology forward. Look what it was able to achieve on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X with the Matrix. So,
Yeah.
like not to get ahead of ourselves here, because I know we don't really talk about PC stuff, but the PC stuff that's coming later this year is freaking mind blowing where we're going. And it's going there because of Unreal Engine, because of the technology that's in Unreal 5, the things that we can do, and how it's so scalable. We're going up a generation in visuals. Once
Hellblade
Unreal
2,
is the
Hellblade
norm,
2, right? Hellblade 2
yeah,
is
like
using it.
I'm,
Yeah.
but the Hellblade 2 looked amazing too, don't get me wrong, but I was truly impressed with the Matrix. And the Matrix is like something they kind of like slapped together, you know? It's not something that they spent like years on making.
Yeah.
So imagine a studio that dedicates the time on Unreal Engine 5, and once again it's user friendly, so all the ideas that you have, they're easy to implement, and then you're able to implement other ideas that you never thought you could. We're going to see some really amazing looking games from Unreal Engine 5. I cannot wait. And you're right, Fonz, it's going to be the standard going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible to see all that, what they do with the graphics going forward, because, we're at a point in time where graphics has gotten so good that we've all been talking about, well, all we want is like the performance to get better. We want the 60 frames and higher, But at the same time, using something like Unreal Engine 5, we can get both being moved forward, and that's what's incredible about it. And to hear that it is actually more intuitive and user friendly for the developers, that's awesome. That's what we want to hear. So
Witcher and Unreal
times.
is huge. It's huge news, man. That's really big news. I don't think people realize how big that news is because we don't have a lot of Unreal Engine 5 stuff out. But if you look on PC and you see the stuff that people are creating with Unreal Engine 5, and then you think about CD Projekt Red getting their hands on it and what they could do with it, I'm telling you, this is a huge deal, man. The next Witcher is going to look amazing.
I think it's just getting people in there, like more developers getting in there. Hiring is going to be easier. Like they've even said that it's going to cost them more money to use it because they have to, like, once they make over $1 million, they got to pay whatever percent to Epic, but it's worth that price because they want to get people like into the studio. They need to get people hired. And I think the manpower getting people is bigger and a bigger problem than most people think. I think that's why there's a lot of delays. I think that's why a lot of games are going to continue to get delayed. I know COVID was a big reason, but now I think it's just hires, getting people in there. So I don't know. We're going to see this for a while.
What about the rumor swirling about them possibly not going with Geralt as the protagonist in the fourth?
Yeah, they're not saying it's a Witcher 4. They blatantly said this is not a Witcher 4. This is Witcher, a new saga. It's a new game. So I don't even know. I don't even know if it's a third-person action open world game. They didn't say anything.
Well, it better.
Dealer, how do you feel about that? Because that's one of your favorite games. What do you feel about that?
I don't know. What it does tell me is that this game is another 6 years away.
Yeah,
they announced Cyberpunk in 2013.
Dude, they announced it in 2008, I believe.
Okay, well, shit, even worse.
Yeah.
And, I understand that pre-production, pause, build Witcher out, blah, blah, blah. But, they had a lot of struggles with Cyberpunk, and I just want them to go back to being the CD Projekt of Witcher 3 because Cyberpunk did not, it didn't go well so far for me. It's not a fraction of the game that Witcher 3 was in many regards, in my opinion. Just my opinion. And I'm sure some of you agree, right? Maybe some of you don't.
100%.
Also, Unreal Engine 5, yeah, it's really cool. That just shows you how pressed they are for manpower. Something I've been talking about on this damn show for over a year. They're so pressed for manpower, they're going to switch over their entire engine to something more people know how to use. Think about that.
It was 2012 when they announced it. I'm sorry, Cyberpunk. Yeah.
So 1 year before. Yeah.
2012, you're joking.
Yeah, Cyberpunk was announced back in 2000.
It took them 8 years to make. It took them 8 years to make, and they need another 8 to make it better. So
I'll say this though, with Unreal Engine 5,
now it's in good shape.
Unreal Engine 5 though, it does speed up the production considerably, man. Because it's a lot easier to do things. So although it might take some time, obviously, but I don't think it's going to take the same amount of time to create games in Unreal.
I think it's going to take them a lot. Like honestly, I think a lot of developers are looking at what they did right. Like you look at what Elden Ring did, you look at what these big open world games, like if you put out something that's not on the same caliber, like I'm sorry, you're going to get called the fuck out. Like it's just what's going to happen now. Like other developers have put people on notice, and so
I
yeah.
agree with that.
I don't think everybody wants games like Elden Ring, though.
I'm not just saying like Elden Ring. I'm just saying like the amount of content you get. Even Assassin's Creed Valhalla, look how much content you get.
Yeah, and the world building in Elden Ring too. The way that you explore is a lot different than most open world games, and just not having all kinds of things all over the map to actually run to and stuff. Like you basically just have to explore it, and I liked that. So yeah, I can see other games.
Hey,
taking
look,
from that.
it's Gaming Forte.
What's up, Gaming Forte?
What's that?
All right.
The man with the million.
Well, everybody's energy just like died.
Yeah, what happened?
No, my
Yeah,
my headset disconnected. I was actually gonna attack Gaming Forte in the chat. He said, "Are you talking bad about another game deal?" Gaming Forte's the man that came on this podcast and said Sony have the quality IP. Now, I don't want to restart a World War V, but you know we had some disagreements, and me and Gaming Forte haven't hung out since. It's real personal.
GT7.
GT7. GT7 comes out. He's like, "They got the quality IP, guys."
GT7.
Why you got to kill boyfriend engine like that?
Oh, man.
I got to kill the show because it's killing itself. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. You guys are awesome. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy or two about the show. It helps more than you know. And God, we had a lot of topics today. A lot of good ones, actually. Really, really interesting ones. We want to know your thoughts. And, of course, thanks for supporting everything we do. Support the panel. We're going to do some shout-outs. And, of course, check out the links in the description for Patreon and more. We, again, can't thank you enough.
I'm about to hit up webcams, chat, XYZ.
I knew you were going to say some stupid shit. Oh, my God.
Who got rid of that before I could click on it?
Oh, man, I saw it.
It was my night. Oh, man. The wife was out and everything.
Back to Elden Ring, you fucking loser.
Maidenless again.
Hargeek said watching the other game play Grand Theft Auto remind me to never get in a car with him. Yeah, don't do that. And then we've got Fire Shadows. He says skill review Godfall as god awful accurate. I haven't played it. Lord Starkiller said we'll get GT. What is that? Oh, GWT for PC. What is that?
What?
GWT. We'll get GWT for PC. Looks decent.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Look, Lord Starkiller's late. All right. Yeah, Danny Passion official says D-Batch, please, no more COD exclusivity. Why, Danny? Why? And then of course, we got Nano Polymath, who's a massive supporter of the show. He says I'd rather pick up an STD than god awful. Savage.
Hang out with Colt Eastwood and you will.
Yeah, just jump in a party with Colt. And also, guys, let us know your thoughts. Seriously, we mean it. We want feedback. We'll come back next week, more energy and not half dead. And obviously, we just look forward to talking to you guys again. So we're going to do some outdoors. D-Batch, tell people where you can find you, buddy, and what have you been playing?
You can find me on Twitter at D_Batch. You can find me on YouTube at DBatch. And I'm playing a lot of WWE 2K22. Yeah, I know. But that's my game, man. I love that game. I'm going online and just having fun ragdolling people, man. So that's what I've been doing. And it's not good, man. I'm really addicted to that game, man. It's pretty bad.
Hey, you like what you like, buddy.
Yeah, it is what it is. But it's a good game. There was a patch that actually came out today that fixed a lot of things. If people are still having issues with the game,
knocked out.
go and delete some of your downloads and re-download them, and the game should work fine. But yeah, it's a good game overall. Just needs to be patched a little bit more.
Alrighty,
Neither got knocked out in real life.
I did. Hey, I got chloroform myself. Hey, Fonzarelli, tell people what you've been playing, buddy, and where can people find you?
I beat Elden Ring finally after 7 days playtime. It was a little insane, but great, fantastic game. One of the best games I've ever played. Period. My game of the year so far. We'll see if Starfield can top it, because that's the only game I can foresee being any better. So let's hope Starfield is amazing. I know it's going to be amazing, but we'll see if it tops Elden Ring. You can find me at Fonzarelli Gaming here on YouTube. and Jay Fonzarelli on Twitter. And I started my podcast back up again. So I have a show that I did with Gaz. If you missed it Sunday, go check it out. It was a fun one. We talked about Gran Turismo and everything else that we talked about tonight pretty much. Had a good time, and it was pretty fun. So check it out.
Yeah. Definitely check it out, chat. Also, we got xCloud Tim Dog, brother. What have you been playing? Where can people find you?
I've been playing World Wrestling Federation or WWE 2K22. I have to say, it's a pretty cool game. Some of the things I don't like, that some of the stuff is behind. You have to grind out a lot of the wrestlers, and the paywall is definitely easy to just buy them. But I have to say, really good graphics. I'm enjoying it a lot. So I played it, and I have to say, if you like wrestling, it's perfect for you. I would recommend buying it. If you're not a big wrestling fan, then maybe not. Other than that, also been playing Madden franchise, and I have not started Elden Ring, but I know that you guys are super passionate about it. I'm still looking to start that and get that going. But overall, I played a bunch of games during when I was sick, and it was fun just to get back into it because I had been off for a little while.
Alrighty. Follow Tim Dog at Tim Dog. Also, Zalker, buddy, where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
What's up, buddy? What's up, chat? You guys know where you can get me. At Zalker87 Twitter, Zalker87 YouTube. I've been playing fucking Elden Ring, Sea of Thieves, and Elden Ring. I'm in the capital. Thing is massive. I've been in there for like 6 hours. There's like a whole underground. Like, it's just insane. The capital, like just that one legacy dungeon or city is huge. It is bigger than any of the other ones. Yeah, I'm going to keep playing this game because I love it. Looking at Tiny Tina's Wonderland, I think that looks all right, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Sea of Thieves has a bunch of content coming out, doing some new forts. They have some Flameheart stuff coming out, so me and my buddies are planning a session to go through all that because we play it all the time and fucking love the game. So yeah, chat, thanks for coming by again Tuesday. We all died at the end, but you know what? That's what happens, But looking forward to next week.
I gotta eat more vitamins.
Bro, I need a fucking chicken or something. I need to eat.
Just a whole chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Tim Dog's gonna go
man.
eat dicks, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna definitely get off here and go play some games and eat and sleep and stuff. But thanks for joining us. We will see you guys next week. We're out.
Later, everybody.
I don't even do outros anymore. Fuck it.